What's up? This is Nak3d Eli, the mostly unclothed gamer, here with a world record legendary speedrun guide for Infinity, arguably the most difficult mission in Halo 4. This run was performed by the current world record holder of Halo 4 full game, Mr. Proace Joker, who is with us here today. Joker, say hello to the beautiful people.
Hello everyone, back again for Infinity. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here, so we're going to jump right on into this. We're going to start off, there are these IFF tags that you have to, supposedly you need to pick up. If you know where you need to go, you don't actually need to touch them. So we're going to skip them, and we're just going to climb across these trees. Chief has pre-evolved and is now a monkey. So we're just going to be jumping across the trees, trying to avoid as many bullets as we can. And once we get into this cave area, we're going to kind of jump to the left here on top of these trees. Now, you kind of want to jump right into this darkness, and you might fall into some holes and stuff, but as long as you just head in a straight direction after climbing up there, you're going to actually skip a load zone that normally you have to... There's a bunch of binary rifle crawlers and guys all over the place.
Yeah, this part was ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely, in my opinion, when I started to speedrun this, hardest part of the entire game. But a runner who was a tricker found a lot of the big tricks, like the last level, the button jump. He found this trick as well. His name's Tim Button. And he found a lot of these tricks and made this game.
Jump?
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope. So yeah, there's like this entire section used to be painstakingly difficult to clear all the enemies and get through quickly, and now there's nothing. We've deloaded everything in the entire beginning of this mission using that weird little jump, and it's really important that you don't run outside of the path that Joker was taking. Like, you need to hug that wall, go into the cavern, climb the rocks and the trees without going outside of that cavern, because otherwise you'll hit the load zone and then all these enemies will be here, and that would be really, really, really bad, because this makes the beginning of the mission really, really, really easy once you learn how to climb that tree and be Tarzan and get through it.
Now, it seems really quick, but we are now a quarter of the way done with this mission already.
Woohoo! And now coming up here is one of the more risky sections. I guess riskier would be the grammatically correct term. And then we're gonna kill the two crawlers that we see popping out here, because they like to rip our shields apart.
So it's a shotgun we grabbed right there. So
yep. And so this is a new strat, well, new-ish strat, I guess, using the shotgun here instead of carrying your pistol and then using the railgun later. You can shoot at some of these crawlers along your way, but really you just want to book it up to this corner, and then you normally crouch there, but there was a knight chilling here, which I thought was hilarious when I watched this run. And so you should normally have your shields to just run through this section and jump over the crawlers, but instead we're going to have to take out a few of them, and then Joker man-moded his way through it.
Yep, and so this next part, there's just watchers and crawlers that we have to kind of pick off. And the faster you go up the hill, the more enemies that spawn. So basically, this first part, take a little bit of time to clear out all the enemies to begin with. Trick is to keep as many Marines alive as you can. So, the faster you kill the enemies, the more likely the Marines are to survive for the holdout fight. So,
right, so normally... Oh, wait, actually, you talk about this part
Yeah,
here.
So there's going to be watchers that spawn here, and you want to pick them off mainly because the sentinel beams they spawn can kill the Marines really fast. Now, I didn't even do that successfully, but because I forgot to reload, but it ended up being okay. It ended up working out all right. But basically, as I said, we're just using the shotgun, killing as many enemies as we can, as fast as we can, and then taking out this turret at the very end. And there's 4 possible Marines you can save, and I saved all 4. But you kind of want minimum of 2 for this area to go very, very smoothly.
Yep. So this section used to be it probably still is the most difficult battle in the game, that we have to actually kill all of the enemies. There's no trick to deload them or circumvent them. So we're going to position ourselves here next to that like series of boxes as like a little pyramid. We're going to punch the first knight, move to the left, punch the second knight, and then if you have a good shot, which I recommend you get one, it makes the game much easier, then you can come down here and shoot all these dudes in the faces. And by doing this, your Marines will set up on the turrets, and they'll all focus fire on just the knights that are spawning. So you don't even have to move up to kill the knights. You can just come down here, kill all the crawlers, kill that watcher that spawns, so that he doesn't spawn more crawlers. And then you should be pleasantly surprised to come back up and see that all of the other 2 or 3 knights are dead. And then you punch the last one there in the middle, and that's GG. We're done with this section. Joker, where did you get that more? There's DMR ammo.
Yeah, the DMR ammo on the very last knight you meleeed. You kind of climbed over a tree trunk. At the very bottom of the trunk, there's a full ammo DMR right there that you can pick up. So
exactly, and
so that's
it's
where you get all the
really
ammo.
important
Yeah.
to get full ammo. If you didn't get that DMR, there's DMR where you picked up the railgun ammo earlier, and this part is another fight that's also somewhat difficult. Starting out here by railgunning the knight, shooting him twice in the face, and then use up some of your grenades to blow these dudes up, and then headshot any grunts who are running at you with blue balls. And then you want to hug this. Notice exactly where Joker's positioned. His right side is safe from the carbiner. Now, as he's moving out, he's going to start to be a little bit more aware of the carbiner. And sometimes the dude runs out at you. Sometimes he just chills back and sits there. So this time, Joker had to move up to kill him himself. There's more railgun ammo here, which is why it wasn't vital for picking it up earlier next to that DMR where the turret was. And then really, the speed factor here is just how fast can you kill everything.
Yeah,
right? So
the trick for the Phantom starts to come in to drop enemies, and it comes in when there are 3 enemies left alive. So as soon as you get down to 3 enemies, leave the Knight for last because he takes the longest to kill. So, and then at that point, it doesn't matter too much because you have to wait for these enemies to drop out anyways. And then just spawn kill them as they jump out. You'll see me, I take out the 2 turret guys on the Phantom. That's more of just a safety for me. But there's railgun ammo kind of right where I was standing there. I think I'd already picked it up, so it wasn't there anymore. But there's 4 areas where these 2 knights that I'm killing now can spawn. I kind of got the perfect spawn where you want them to. One right in front of you that you can just backsmack, and then the second one to just you can pick off with whatever railgun and DMR ammo you have left.
So that dude spawned to the right. Where are the 2 other spawns?
There are 2 other spawns where I'm standing right now. There's one spawn pretty much right there, and then one a little bit in front of it as well. So
Gotcha. So you want to have at least that one of the 2 where you could just run up and backsmack them, and then you just railgun DMR, or 2 railgun shot the other one.
Yeah. And right now I'm just kind of wasting ammo because this mission is so long. We are now halfway done with this mission, but it's so long, they give you an entirely new set of weapons right here.
It makes no sense. They might as well just split it up into 2 missions.
Exactly. So, and looks like we're 7 minutes in, halfway through, and right as we start this area, we are going to run right down to the left and kind of climb up this cliffside and jump onto these rocks, trees, whatever the hell they are. And we're going to jump onto this broken ship and just follow this kind of tree trunk through this rock outcropping.
Jump right there. Yeah.
If you fall in, you can just jump back up again. It's okay. It doesn't really do much. So, but doing that is kind of like the first area where we climbed the tree to skip a load zone. Exact same thing, where we climbed a bunch of rocks and trees to skip another load zone, where this area there's supposed to be a lot of turrets, turrets as in like the floating platforms, and fuel rod guys, and just a lot of enemies.
Tons of enemies, yeah.
But instead, because we skipped the load zone, they don't spawn at all, and we can just run down and grab this Wraith. Now, you're probably thinking the ghosts are faster, but we actually have to kill a set of hunters and a bunch of fuel rod and a bunch of enemies later on, so the Wraith is just more effective at killing them. So it's actually faster to take them.
Let's talk about the boost mechanics. So the goal here is to use up your entire boost bar from near 100% all the way down to close to 0%, but not quite 0, because if you hit the 0% mark, then there's like this little red alert thing that takes time for your boost counter to deal with. And so it adds like an extra 1.5 to 2 seconds of waiting for your boost to come back. So the goal is to keep your boost within a range of like 1% to 99%. Right? You don't want to go past 100% because then you're potentially wasting boost that you could have already used. So just let it go all the way down, not quite hit 0, and then let it recharge to near full, and then use it again and again and again until you're in this little area.
Yep. Now, when we come up here, there's just going to be a set of enemies. As I said before, there's hunters and then, fuel rod grunts. Focus on picking off the fuel rod grunts first. Those guys are the ones who are going to do the most damage to you. So kind of focus on them as it goes. And then just pick them off as fast as you can, kind of like all the other areas of this level. And
yeah, we really need more tricks to skip these enemies, dude. We're speedrunners, not fighters, lovers.
I mean, there is a way to clip through the door early on, so we never tried to do it before killing the enemies, but I'm not sure if that would work anyways. So
interesting.
But anyways, at this point, you'll actually see me revert to last checkpoint here once I get a checkpoint. The reason being is once Del Rio starts talking, if you get a checkpoint and revert it, it actually skips needing him to say everything he needs to, because this door that I just went through doesn't open until he's done talking. And by getting that checkpoint and reverting, it actually skips that and it opens up immediately. So.
Now, if you got the checkpoint before Del Rio starts talking, which normally happens if you have full shields as that part's about to activate, then you can just use the Warthog to clip through the door as Joker did, where he positioned the driver's seat right next to the door and then just tried to get out until it let him come through. And if he's still in the middle of his dialogue, let's say you got that clip really fast, you pick up that rocket launcher on the side, shoot at this door with the rocket launcher, and then you will actually press the button for the Mantis and then have to blow up the Mantis with the grenades and rockets in order to spawn the next section, right? You need to actually either get in the Mantis or kill the Mantis to hit the next load zone. It's a pretty interesting trigger.
Yeah, it's a weird trigger. So
yeah, so running up here, we're going to use the DMR to take out all of these grunts. Now, Joker, do you normally run to the right here? I thought normally you'd run, kill the grunts and run to the left.
I used to do the left, but it doesn't really matter. I actually think you get shot less if you go through the right. So I started going to the right there.
Gotcha. And then right here, this section looks really risky, but Joker and I were talking about it. It's like he's pretty much never died, maybe one time when he got nailed by a fuel rod cross map. So this, although this looks crazy, and you might be thinking, what? I normally come through here with a giant Mantis with rocket launchers and turrets attached to it. This is way, way faster because you sprint faster than the Mantis walks, and you're not this giant target that everyone's trying to annihilate. So it's actually safer just to run on through than actually using the Mantis.
Safer and saves a lot of time. Taking the Mantis through this section, even if you just book it with the Mantis, it probably wastes still like 1 minute and 20 seconds of time just going through on the Mantis than running through it. So
then we get to ride this little elevator up, and there's going to be a door here. This is interesting. I've never seen someone jump up on this box to get a slight time leap here. Saves what, like a millisecond?
It saves a second.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, I like it.
This area, this is where the rockets really come into play. So there's these jammers that we need to take out. So we take out the one on the far right first, and then we head towards this Mantis, which we will actually get into this one. But we're going to take out the other two after reloading with 2 nicely placed rockets. If you miss, just get in the Mantis and then destroy it with the Mantis. But destroy those first before focusing on anything else.
You usually use the Mantis gun to take those out, right? You don't need a rocket.
Yeah, no, don't waste your rockets. You want to use the rockets to destroy the Phantoms. Basically, you want to try and kill these Phantoms before they drop out their enemies.
Yep.
So, and then you're going to see us hiding here in this corner. We are hiding. It is for a good reason. You'll see in a little bit. It'll actually do a despawn. So, but first off, we destroyed the first wave, that first Phantom that comes in. Now, the second one, we're also going to work on blowing up. And
I want to mention 2 things.
Yeah, go for it.
One is that you want to kill the grunts on the side seat turrets because those guys annihilate you. You see right here, Joker's actually... Is this the ship that you shoot at the other side grunt?
Yeah.
Because he's just being a pain in the butt. And so if you can kill him, then you save a lot more of your Mantis's health, since your shields will probably be down like this entire time. And then try and dodge these final shots. And like Joker was saying, that we killed the first 2 waves so quickly that this third wave comes out, and now if we kill this Phantom, we actually end the entire sequence without having to go into a 4th wave.
Yeah, if you actually saw on the right side, before I started shooting that third Phantom, is there were actually 2 Phantoms that came in at the exact same time, because it spawns the 3rd and 4th wave together. And for whatever reason, hiding in that corner like that actually despawns the 2 Phantoms on the right side. So you just completely skip needing to destroy both of them. And then,
which is very, very nice.
Yep, and then it just ends the area after you destroy the last Phantom.
That's it. As soon as you see objective complete, make sure there's no Banshees running around trying to kill you. Make sure there's no enemies on the ground trying to kill you. And then you can safely go and push the button, which will activate the timer for the end sequence. The other thing I wanted to mention briefly was that I used to have questions, like, do you want to hold down the trigger on the Mantis all the way to let it get overheated and then let it deheat and then use it again? Or is it better to not let it overheat and just sort of pulse the trigger? But Joker, as he did in this video, actually likes to just let it overheat, and then it's a very quick deheat so that you can use a lot more of the shot.
Yep.
And so that is it, a 1442 world record for Infinity. Absolutely incredible. And next up we have Reclaimer, one of the coolest missions to trick in the entire game. Really, really pumped for that. Joker, thanks so much for being on, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yep, see you later.